The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Jimbo and Bond take flight. 80s dreams on the light. In the realm of black and white. Movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
Chuck Lumley's a nice guy. Maybe too nice, and everyone knows it.
Every day.
In fact, the only time he gets to rest in peace is at the office.
City morgue.
Enter Bill Blazejowski,
Hi, I'm your new partner.
a man of vision with a mouth to prove it.
This is Bill. Mission in life. Make Chuck a man. We got all that space down at the morgue. All those cars, all that time at night, nobody watching us. Pimps? Are you saying we should become pimps? Love brokers! You and me, buddy!
We're all yours, Chuck.
Together, they're going to make the day pay off all night long. Henry Winkler, Shelley Long, and Michael Keaton in Night Shift. Chuck was reluctant.
There are women, female human beings, rolling around in strange beds with strange men, and we are making money from that.
Is this a great country or what?
Bill was out of control.
Hey, look at this! We got teenage girls breaking full of brides in here! Today, it starts, all right? Operation Chuck, all right? From now on, we're gonna have some fun. Till our daddy takes our T-bar away, all right?
You know that girls know how to. And standing around, ready to go. Let's get ready to go. We say that girls know how to.
This is a morgue. You're partying in a morgue. A sick world.
Yeah, thank God.
With Bill's head for finance and Chuck's knack for figures, everyone's got it made. There's only one minor obstacle, and it's not the Better Business Bureau.
Hold on, Chuck, I'm coming, buddy!
Night Shift. It makes a day seem dead by comparison.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo, and I'm joined once again.
Hey, this is Bond in Texas.
Bond. Tonight, we're talking about a movie that I had never seen before. I suggested it because it stars one of my favorite actors, and that is Michael Keaton. And boy, oh boy, was this a fun one.
Oh, man, this one's great. I'm also thinking this might be like the fourth or fifth movie by Ron Howard that we've covered on this podcast.
Oh, at least.
We're going through like his whole library of movies. It's great.
Yep. So it also stars the Fonz, Henry Winkler, right?
Winkler.
And them two together, they were pretty good together. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm surprised they didn't make more movies together.
Yeah, it was like it was a pretty funny duo right there. So,
Not only
Bond,
that,
what
but
is your
this movie's
favorite?
got a lot of cameos.
Oh, yes, it does. And some early appearances by future stars. So, Bond, what would you say is your top 3 favorite Michael Keaton movies?
Let's see. Probably Mr. Mom.
That's my favorite of all time.
Mr. Mom has got to be up there.
That whole grocery scene just kills me.
Oh yeah. The I guess you could say the original Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Really good stuff. I love those movies. This movie's up there. I really like Night Shift.
Yeah,
This is a great one.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he was even a good. What was he? Vulture? Was that what he was in Spider-Man?
Vulture in the Spider-Man movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's a great one, man. But yeah, you got to love Mr. Mom, dude. Mr. Mom's just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Johnny Dangerously?
Yeah, that's funny too.
That's a good one, man. Gung Ho. Oh, that's awesome. Gung Ho's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. That's why he's a great actor. And I like when you find one of your actors for a movie that you've never seen before, and it opens your eyes to even more of their accurate. I think he was in. Have you ever seen? Man, what's the one where he goes to he's like in a psych ward, and it's got him and I think Christopher Lloyd in it and all that.
And they're advertisers.
No, they're in a psych ward and they break their counselor was going to take them to a baseball game. Well, the counselor ends up getting kidnapped or something. So Michael Keaton takes them all to the baseball.
I've seen that one before.
It's funny, man. I've got it. We have to cover it because it's funny.
That is a good one.
But that's for another episode. What are we talking about tonight, Bond?
Hey, we're talking about the legendary Night Shift, a 1982 American comedy film directed by none other than Ron Howard, Opie Taylor himself.
Richie Cunningham himself.
Richie Cunningham. Okay, so this is Ron Howard's first directorial debut, man. This is his first role as a director. Of course, he's directed movies like A Beautiful Mind, Backdraft, Apollo 13, Splash, Cocoon, Willow, Parenthood. The list goes on, man. When you think of like some of my personal favorite movies growing up, his movies are always on the list. I love all of his movies. There's something about the way he can balance comedy and heart.
Well, it's like Willow.
Really
Willow's
good.
one of my favorite movies too. I just love it to pieces because it's funny, but it's action, serious at times.
He's really good at balancing those two things out. He knows comedy only works with other genres instead of just making it all comedy all the time. He adds heart. He adds something else to it that makes it really good. This movie's written by Lowell Gans, Babalu Mandel, and they wrote movies like Spies Like Us, Parenthood, City Slickers, Splash, were all written by these guys. They also wrote some Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley episodes and some early Odd Couple stuff for television. It's produced by Brian Grazer. He also worked closely with Ron Howard on Splash, Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind. He worked with all those too. The music, none other than Burt Bacharach. I think he comes up in like the last 4 movies we've covered.
I know.
He's really popular. The release date for this one was July 30th, 1982. Has a runtime of 105 minutes. The budget for this movie was $8 million back in 1982. Translates to about $27 million today. That's how much Michael Keaton would make in a movie today.
Probably, if not more.
So, yeah, the budget alone would have covered just him. It did pretty well at the box office. It ended up doing $21 million. So it made for 8, and it made 21. It translates to about $82 million today. So a little bit more than tripled its money. Is it great? Probably not, but, back for 1982, these are probably good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, deep breath. You're going to have to pace me on this one. Here is who's in this movie that I just barely mentioned. Of course, it stars Henry Winkler as Chuck Lumley. I love the last name Lumley because it's like he plays this milquetoast type character, this wishy-washy character. So the fact that his last name's Lumley is hilarious. We know Henry Winkler as the Fonz from Happy Days. He was also in the movie Scream.
He was the principal.
He was also in the movie The Water Boy, right? And he was also in one of my favorite comedies, Here Comes the Boom, with Kevin James. I love that movie. It's great. We have Michael Keaton as Bill Blazejowski, or Blaze. In movies, we mentioned some. Batman, Mr. Mom, Beetlejuice, Johnny Dangerously, Gung Ho, and of course the Spider-Man villain, the Vulture. And he's one of those guys, he's been acting for 40 plus years, so he's just got 100 movies under his belt. It's got Shelley Long as Belinda Keaton, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Her last name's Keaton. She's known for the TV show Cheers. She was also in The Money Pit with Tom Hanks, Troop Beverly Hills, and she plays Mrs. Brady in the Brady movies.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was pretty
I forgot.
Cool. Yeah, she does pretty well, I thought. Stars Gina Heck as Charlotte Kugel. She was in St. Elmo's Fire.
Mm-hmm.
And TV Seinfeld as George's therapist, which I thought was pretty cool. Matt Corley plays Edward Kugel. He was on TV's Hill Street Blues, Murphy Brown, and he's in the movie Against All Odds. Remember that guy that comes in who works the day shift, that took the day shift away from Chuck? That's Leonard Carbone, played by Bobby DeCicco. He was in the movie Splash, The Philadelphia Experiment, and Ghoulies 4. I have to admit I'd be totally lost because I don't think I've seen Ghoulies 2, 3. I've seen the first Ghoulies. I don't think I've seen the second
That's
or
like
third one.
Critters too. Remember Critters?
Yeah, so I mean, by the time I get to Ghoulies 4, I'm hoping that somebody can help me out with that one. Oh, I forgot to mention, Henry Winkler turned 80 years old this year. 80, man. Still alive and kicking is Nita Talbot as Vivian Lumley. She's 95 years old today. Hogan's Heroes, and she was in the movie Puppet Master 2. Basil Hoffman plays Drollhauser. He was the principal on the TV show Square Pegs. And he was also in a Twilight Zone episode, the 1980s remakes, in an episode called The Button. And since we cover a lot of Twilight Zone episodes, I thought that was pretty neat. Let's see. Tim Rossovich is Luke. He played professional football, and he was also on TV's Charlie's Angels, The A-Team. Did you notice Ron Howard's brother in this one? Ron Howard's brother comes in and wants to rent the hearse for, I'm assuming, prom night, a date night.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to rent the hearse, right, when he turns it into a limo renting company. That's Clint Howard as Jeffrey. That's Ron Howard's brother, man. He was in Waterboy, Apollo 13, and he was actually the TV lead role on the television show Gentle Ben, which is about a little boy and his bear. Joe Spinell as Minetti. He was in The Godfather 1 and 2, Rocky 1 and 2, and Taxi Driver. And Henry Winkler's cousin comes out in this movie. Yeah, Richard Belzer, which I know Richard Belzer from like his old stand-up comedian days. But he's also, of course, on TV's Law and Order.
Law and Order, yep.
He was a stand-up comedian, like I said. He was in the movie Scarface. Richard Belzer plays like one of the tough guys.
Wasn't he also the one, I think I was watching the Hulk Hogan documentary, and I think that's where he was on a talk show, or he was hosting a talk show, and he said, come on, you know it's fake. Put me in a move, and Hogan put him in a chokehold, and he actually put him to sleep,
Choked
and then
him out, right?
then he let go, and he hit his head and busted his head open. I think.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. Yeah, Richard Belzer, man. That was when he was doing stand-up and stuff. We have Grand Bush as Mustafa. He was on the TV show Good Times. He's in Roots, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, Colors, License to Kill. He was in the Street Fighter movie. Okay. Did you know that Roger Rabbit comes out in this movie?
What?
Yes. Charles Flesher. He was a prisoner when they get sent to jail. He was a prisoner.
Wow.
Yeah. He was on the TV show Welcome Back, Kotter. He's the voice of Roger Rabbit. He was a stand-up comedian. He's in Nightmare on Elm Street. And he plays partial harmonica for the band The Blues Travelers.
Huh.
Yeah. So you got to look closely for him, man. Vincent Chevalier.
Yep.
Right? As Carl, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He was in the movie Ghost.
Get off my train.
Exactly. And Batman Returns. Now, I didn't notice him in this movie, but I bet you did.
I know who you're talking about.
Kevin Costner
Yep.
plays frat boy number 1. Did you see him?
Yeah.
I didn't see him.
Yeah. He's
saw
only on there for a split second, though. Not very long at all.
So there's a scene where Michael Keaton character's Blaze is like balancing a beer bottle on his head.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Kevin Costner, in like his second role ever in a movie, comes out. Kevin Costner, not going to mention all the movies he's in. Field of Dreams, one of my
Robin
favorite movies
Hood
of all time, Untouchables, Robin Hood, JFK,
Tin Cup,
Open Range. He's on the TV show Yellowstone. I mean, it's amazing that he was in that. We also have 90210's
Shannon Doherty.
Shannon Doherty. Now, there is a little controversy because the credits say that she was a blue bird, but in the movie, they call them the Blue Bells.
Right.
So, I don't know. Either way, she played Jenny on Little House on the Prairie. She was in the movie Mallrats, Charmed, and of course, Beverly Hills 90210.
Do you know this was actually her first physical appearance in the film? And I did not know this, but she actually did voice work for The Secret of Nim in 1982.
That's a scary movie if you're a
it
little kid.
is.
But it's a great animated movie, man. And finally, I'm going to finish out with Floyd Levine as Uncle Sal Carbone. He comes out. He's the one that runs the place. He was in the movie Dog Day Afternoon. He's also got TV roles in shows like Cagney and Lacey. And he's got a small role in The Hangover.
But, Bond, did you happen to notice Ron Howard in this movie?
You know what? I didn't, but as I was doing research, I did find out he was in the movie.
Twice.
Okay, I didn't know about twice. I just know him as the saxophone player in the subway.
Yes. But also, do you remember when Henry Winkler's walking back to his apartment, there's that couple making out on the side by his thing?
Right by his door?
That's him and his wife.
That's awesome. I did not. That's worth going back to watch just that one scene just to see if I could tell.
Oh, yeah. All right, Bond. So give us the short version of what this movie is about.
All right, super short, condensed version, man. We have Henry Winkler's character, Chuck. He works at a morgue. He goes from the day shift to the night shift because of a little nepotism.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't work alone. He works with Michael Keaton character, Blaze. Blaze is loud. He's brash. He's everything Henry Winkler's character, Chuck, isn't. He just wants it to be quiet. He just wants to sit back and listen and enjoy his plants and read. Well, they end up being pimps. Pure and simple, they end up being pimps. Somehow he gets wrapped up
running the
being in charge
business,
of prostitution,
running the business out of the morgue, and he gets them what, insurance and 401ks and
he invests in like a burger franchises.
Oh yeah,
they end up having their own burger location. So he's really a good investment banker. In fact, that's what he used to do before he worked at the morgue, but the stress got to him, so he had to drop out. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like about how two guys who work the night shift at the morgue end up being pimps.
That's the short version.
That's the short version.
So a little bit longer, we'll talk a little bit about this movie. So not only does Chuck work at the morgue, but he's also in I don't know, how would you say his relationship with his fiance or wife is? Wife, right? Is it wife or fiance?
She's real fiance because she's real self-conscious about her body.
Yeah.
She looks fine.
Yeah, she does.
I don't know. She's not overweight, but she thinks she's overweight.
Well, it's like Henry Winkler and her getting ready to get it on, and she's like, "Hey, can you turn out the lights?" And he's like, "Sure." And then she goes, "Can you close the blinds?"
Exactly.
And then she says, "Can you check the house?"
Oh yeah, dude, it's great. And she's so self-conscious about how she looks, and she wants to be ready for the wedding and all that stuff. But there's like one scene where like she's got like that plate full of like Malamars or something.
Well, there's the plate where they're making love, and she's looking, and she's reaching over and grabbing.
Yeah, she grabs like a chocolate dessert, sneaks a couple bites.
Oh yeah, but so he's very frustrated with her, almost like he doesn't want to be with her, but it's too late. And then all of a sudden he meets what's her name in the movie?
Oh,
Shelley Long's character. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, Belinda.
Yeah, he meets Belinda because she's his neighbor.
Yeah, that's nice.
And there's a dog that always chases him through his apartment, and he has to get off the elevator and run down to his apartment.
Huge, like, Rottweiler. He's got to unlock his door and get in before the dog attacks him.
Right. So basically, the pimp for Shelley Long and Belinda and all of her prostitutes, they are their pimp actually gets thrown out of a window, tied to a chair, and basically goes through a basketball hoop.
Yeah, for 2 points.
Yeah. And so
Okay,
obviously,
hold on 1 second.
yeah,
That scene bothered me because he's getting chased through an alley, and the bad guys are chasing him in a car. He goes down this really narrow alley, and the car pulls in behind him. But there's no way they could have opened their door to get out of the car.
Right.
The car's so tight in that alley.
But I
The
don't
scene shows him,
but I don't
trying to get away.
But I don't think it shows them getting out of their car. I think they probably had to back up, right? Because he jumps over the fence.
Yeah, because they show the car pull in, then they show him trying to climb a chain link fence. The next scene shows them behind, right behind him on the chain link fence, pulling him down. And I was like, they couldn't have opened the door to their car. He would have gotten away. But you're right. He gets caught. He gets tortured. Apparently, he's been like stealing from them.
Right.
Or stealing maybe like their territory or their girls or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets thrown out of a window and killed.
And so he ends up, and what I don't understand is why didn't it kill the guy that was dunking the ball? Right? I was waiting for him to showing him in the morgue too, right?
I love the fact that their bet was $1. I bet you $1 I can dunk it.
Well, $1 in 1982, that was probably 4 soft drinks and a candy bar. So the pimp ends up in the morgue, and Belinda has to come down to Chuck and has to identify the body or whatever. And she kind of says, well, what are we going to do now? There's nothing we can do. But in the meantime, Chuck has been bumped to the night shift because the owner's son, nephew, something wants to take over and work day shift. So he gets bumped to the night shift. And the first night, how about the fact that when Shelley Long comes to identify the body with the policeman, she looks at Henry Winkler and goes, "Hey, don't I know you?" And he's like, no,
you don't. No, you look familiar. I've seen you before. And he's like looking at the cop, and the cop's looking at him like, "So you know this prostitute?"
Yeah. He's like, no. She's like, "Oh, maybe you just look like someone else." So his first night on the night shift, he goes in there, and I love it because he opens a locker and he pulls out his fake plant to sit in the corner.
It's huge.
It's like if you've ever been in high school.
Locker, it's got a 5-foot tree in there.
If you've ever been in high school and you've had one of them lockers in the gym or the locker room, the real skinny ones at the bottom might have something at the top. That's what it is. And he pulls his plastic tree out and puts it in the corner.
Sets it up in the corner.
And he's basically cleaning up after the guy that replaced him on day shift. He's got crumbs and trash, and he asked him. He said, "Well, how'd your first day go?" He's like, they brought in some dead people. That's about all he said.
And not only that, but he's like, "Yeah, my uncle said you take care of the paperwork."
Yeah.
So he doesn't do anything all day long.
Well,
but then
yes, he makes his grand appearance. Blaze himself.
Oh man, that's awesome. All you see is Michael Keaton's like silhouette through the glass. And as he's getting closer, you can tell it's him. And he comes in. "Hey, my name's Blaze." And he's like super loud and super abrasive. "What's your name?" "All right. Hey, Chuck." He's funny, man. He carries around this little tape recorder, a handheld tape recorder.
Yeah, for all of his ideas.
His ideas. "I'm an idea man, Chuck."
Bond, why don't you go ahead and tell him about the idea he had?
Oh, his first idea, right? Yeah. He's like, "Hey, wait, I'm an idea man. Look at this right here. See, look at all this trash." Uh-oh. Pulls out his tape recorder. "Hey, this is Blaze. Edible paper. See all this paper right here? You don't need it. You finish the food, you eat the paper, that's it. No more trash. Solved.
Yeah, and then he's like, I think it's Chuck pulls out his tuna sandwich.
Oh,
He
yeah.
goes on
Later
a
he's like,
tangent.
he's like, oh, man. You know what they ought to do? They ought to mix the mayonnaise with the tuna fish in the can. Right? That was it. You know what? No, better idea.
Have the
Why don't
fish.
you feed mayonnaise to the tuna fish?
Yeah.
And I love Henry Winkler's response is like, call Starkist. It's funny, man. Oh, yeah, you should feed mayonnaise to the tuna fish.
Right. So, Bond, as we're going through this movie, how does the Chuck come up with the idea of, because he's on prom nights and everything, or he rents out the hearse at night, he goes, picks people up. He's basically a taxi cab, and he just slaps like a logo over the county mourner or whatever over the hearse.
Right.
Yeah. And he gives people rides to wherever they need to go.
Yeah. Some guy shows up at the door to the morgue, and it's like, you said it was going to be $20, right? And it ends up being, this is Clint Howard's character. This is Ron Howard's brother. He shows up to the door. He's like, you said it'd be $20, right? He goes, yeah, $20. And Chuck's like, what are you doing? And he gives Chuck $100.
Yeah.
He goes, here's $100, right? Come to find out, he is driving out these people all around town. He's renting out the hearse as a limo. He's like a limo driver. He puts on the hat, puts on a jacket, slaps a logo on the side, and is driving people around. He goes, and Chuck says, what if we get a call? What if somebody called? What if we have a pickup? And Blaze is like, don't worry, they're not going anywhere. So he's already found a way. He made like $400 in one night.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's real good.
So he gets this bright idea that the ladies that lost the pimp, they have no boss. And he's like, we can run it here on the night crew. We've got the hearse. We can drive them to the locations, to the gentlemen of the night, and we can get paid and bring them back and, get rich.
Yeah. Well, Belinda ends up getting beat up because she doesn't have a pimp. Well, first off, Belinda brings home one of her Johns, and he's like this huge cowboy playing country music.
It's because Henry Winkler and them are trying to make love that night, right? When she gets up to do everything, and that music was so loud, she's like, I can't do this. That music's so loud. Go have them turn
I can't
off.
Concentrate, yeah.
And he goes running out in his robe or whatever. He starts banging on the door.
Knocking on the door.
Turn off that music. And he bangs on it again.
The guy opens the door. He's like a foot taller than him. Solid muscle.
Cowboy hat.
He's wearing nothing but a cowboy hat and tidy whities. And come to find out, that's Belinda's John for the night. She goes, we'll keep it down. We'll keep it down. And of course, his fiance doesn't wait in the room, in the apartment. She comes out to see what's going on. And right away, she's like, I knew you. I knew you looked familiar. And so his fiance is like, why does this prostitute know you? You know what I'm saying? Why does this prostitute know you? He's like, we're neighbors. But you're right, man. She ends up getting beat up because she doesn't have a pimp to protect her. And that's kind of where the idea comes that these girls need protection.
Yep.
So
but
it takes a lot of convincing, though, to convince Henry Winkler.
I think it helped it along when old Chuck starts to fall for Belinda, right? And this is the part of the movie where I cracked up so hard. I haven't laughed out loud in a movie like this in years.
Nice.
But she comes over to his apartment to cooking breakfast, right? And she goes, hey, do you want some eggs? I can cook some eggs. He's like, well, sure. And so she starts taking off her clothes. Right? She's like, I don't want
it's hot in there or something, and the window doesn't open or something.
And so she's standing there in her underwear and her little t-shirt or whatever. And Henry Winkler's just sitting at the table, right? And she comes and sits down or whatever. And she's like, it's hot in here, right? He's like, yeah. And he takes the toast and he like taps his brow with it. I lost it right
wipes
there.
His sweat with the toast.
I lost it right there. I thought that was the funniest part, man.
Awesome.
Oh.
And she's like, yeah, hey, this is fun. We could do this every day.
Yeah.
Dabbing his head with the toast. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, so you can start to see the chemistry right there between the two. And eventually I think that kind of pushed him into the thing of becoming more involved with the pimp business, if you will. That's when he starts giving them, 401ks. He buys a restaurant with them because they're making so much money. And he takes them all in there and like, ladies, welcome to your burger joint. And they're like, well, what you're going to pay for us to eat? He's like, no, you're part owners or whatever.
You're part owners of
and they start jumping over the counters and everything. Right?
Exactly. I love the meetings that he has because like Blaze and Belinda, they bring all the other prostitutes into the morgue with this proposition of, hey, these guys could be our new pimp.
That was funny too.
And they're like, what? These guys? And so, oh man, Blaze writes down the word prostitution on the chalkboard.
That was so funny.
Let's break it down. So pros, that doesn't really mean anything. Right?
He's like,
tit. Well, you know what that means. Two. Well, you got two. Shun from the Latin word shun, to push away.
Michael Keaton makes this movie, man. He really does.
He does. I love him in every scene.
What about that car he had? Remember, he's like, hey, you need one of these. He's like, look at this. He's like, I got 10. And it's just on the one window, right? And he's like, watch this. Window. And it goes up, and you might have heard it in the trailer where he's like, hey, look at this. He's actually like he's smoking a joint. He's like, we got underage girls in here, and all that. And they can't see in.
The cops can't see in the window. That's awesome. It's like T-Bird, right? It's got the T-Bird.
But I think it's a mixture of different cars. If I remember,
it's not a T-Bird.
No. And then something about, he's like, where's my paperwork? He's like, I got it in the trunk. They're going down the road, the trunk's open up, and paperwork's flying all over the place.
Flies out, man.
Oh, man.
It's actually a good system that Henry Winkler Chuck comes up with. He says, usually pimps take 90% of what you make?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I'll only take 10% of what you make, right? And let you keep the other 90%, and I'll invest it for you. And they show like now it looks like an old school computer because it's like, the black screen.
Oh, yeah. With the green dot. Yeah.
And he's showing it's like $36,000 invested because they're keeping 90% of what they have.
Well, it's showing each girl's pay thing too. Remember, it was saying different names.
How much they're making. Yeah. And so they're able to go out and buy nice clothes, new apartments. Even Michael Keaton fixes himself up, starts wearing nice suits. Right.
Right. So during all this, I think, was it Christmas time came around? Oh, she asked him, she says, well, what are you going to do with all your money? He's like, well, I already spent it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, on what? He's like, I'll show you. She's like, well, just tell me. She's like, no, I'm going to show you. And he drives Michael Keaton and her to the cemetery. And he's like, you bought the cemetery? He's like, what a great investment.
But this was no good. It's already full. You should have bought an empty one.
Right. And he goes over and he had bought, was it his dad?
His dad. A new headstone.
A big, gigantic headstone.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of melts Belinda right there. Like she's falling for him. And then it shows them at Christmas time, and they get Michael Keaton. What they get him, Bond? Remember that big old, was it a boombox or was it a recording or whatever it was?
Yeah, that big old school 1980s boombox.
He's like, I've been wanting one of these.
Something like this, but this is nicer than the one I was looking at. You know why? Because it's free.
And what does she get?
Oh, man.
And that is my prop piece of what she gets him. That's my prop piece.
You just took my prop piece.
I'm telling you right now.
The pimp hat.
It's so funny.
What is it, like a purplish blue?
Blackish something with a feather in it.
Felt.
That's my prop piece right there.
Sticking out. I saw that. I was like, that's mine.
I had to jump on that right there.
Man. Yeah, you did, because I was going to take it, dude.
Yeah, and
that was awesome.
Did they get her anything? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think they just showed
their appreciation.
The girls were just showing the guys their appreciation for that Christmas time.
So, when did they end up kissing? Do you remember? They were at the apartment and they were talking. And
no.
Oh, wait. No. They get arrested, don't they? Remember?
They do get arrested.
What do they get arrested for?
Well, okay, they get arrested. What happens is the same two guys that killed the original pimp start following Belinda and the other prostitutes around to see who their new pimp is. They find out it's Henry Winkler and it's Michael Keaton, right? It's Chuck and Blaze. They follow them to the morgue, and the only person there is Chuck.
So
they tie him down. They get a water hose, like one of those.
It's a fire hose.
Fire hose, yeah, fire hose. And they tie him to a chair, and they're going to.
Ain't it like a gurney or something? Because it's
I think it's
laying down or something.
They like strap him down.
Yeah,
and they shove the fire hose in his mouth, and they're going to turn it on all the way and just make him pop. I guess I don't know what the plan is there, just to kill him, drown him, I guess. But at the same time, thank goodness, Blaze shows up with 2 undercover cops
because
he met at the nightclub. He's like, I couldn't help notice, but you were without female companionship. So he shows them to the morgue, and they're like, this is a morgue. He's like, trust me. Brings them in, and they're thinking we're going to make a bust. But when they come in, they catch the 2 other pimps trying to kill Henry Winkler.
And it's so funny because there's a shootout, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Henry Winkler, they start spinning Henry Winkler, and he's turning on this thing while they're shooting.
He's still tied to the gurney. And he's spinning around in a circle. And they're like, oh, my God, Chuck, are you okay? Are you okay? He's all, just dizzy. Oh, man. But they do get arrested for prostitution, or they get, I guess, for being pimps. They get arrested.
And this is where Charlotte, I think's her name, right? His fiance.
Yeah.
She comes down to the jail, and he's like, they're like, Chuck, whatever, you got a visitor. And he comes on, and he's like, oh, thank goodness you're here. You know, I'm sorry. And he's like, and she gets real close to the thing, and she just spits on him. She said, we're through.
Yeah. Well, before there was a point where Shelley Long's character got arrested for prostitution, and she calls.
That's on Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, I think.
Or Christmas night. Yeah, Thanksgiving night. And they're all sitting down. He's sitting down with his would-be in-laws for dinner.
Getting ready to eat.
About to eat. The phone rings, and it's Belinda, and she goes, I've just been arrested. I don't have anybody because my old pimp used to take care of this for me. You got to save me. You got to help me.
He's like, I can't.
I can't. We just sat down to dinner.
Please, Chuck, you're the only one I know.
And so he goes, I got to go. He shows up at the jail, at the sentencing with his in-laws, yeah. His fiance and his in-laws. He has to bring them all with him. Oh man, that's not good. But you're right, man. He gets thrown in jail. They get thrown in jail. His fiance breaks up with him and says, we're over. We're done. When does he and Belinda get together? When do they finally,
I think, is it after they get out of jail, right? And he's coming back home.
So. Yeah, I think so. And that's where they kiss. That's where they have sex for the first time. And it's so funny because the next day, or I guess the next night, because they were at the night shift, that night, Chuck goes to work and he's smiling. He's having a good time. He comes in, dun, 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 dun. And
Blaze is like, what happened to you?
Yeah, what happened to you? What's wrong with you?
He's like, nothing. Yeah. I just had a good night. And he's like, and then she comes down too, right? And he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, well, he says, I don't think Belinda's coming in tonight because he's thinking Belinda's going to quit her job.
Because she's in love with him.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what? And he's like,
yeah.
The light bulb goes on, right?
Exactly. But it's so funny because Belinda shows up like it's just another day at work.
Yeah, she's getting her assignment from...
Yeah. Hey, guys, how's it going? You know, and Michael Keaton hands her like her next John. And she's like, okay. Oh, yeah, I know this guy. Okay. And Chuck's looking at her like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? She's like, a woman's got to work. You got to earn a living. Did you think she was actually going to quit?
Me?
You know?
No.
Yeah.
No,
of course not, right? I mean, I guess that's the price
she was like, well, where am I going to go? Prostitute. Where am I going to go to make this kind of money that I'm making? She's like, I can't just quit and go and not have a job lined up.
Yeah.
Well, he takes it to heart, man. He really does. Because he's in love badly.
And he takes her going to work as well, she doesn't feel the same way about me. She must not love me because she showed up to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, she's hurt because she's like, he would have understood. If he loved me, he would understand where I'm coming from.
But you got to remember, so Blaze drives Belinda to the destination. And this is where Blaze says, "You like him, don't you?" And she said, "Yeah." And he says, "You don't want to go up there, do you?" She's like, "No." So he says, "Okay." And, he takes, it was very, I guess it was very eye-opening for both of them. Number one, for her, because she knows I really do like this guy, and it must have hurt him in some sort of way that I can't go on and keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this part because basically they broke up, right? And Henry Winkler goes back to his apartment, right? The dog comes out, the guy at the front door, he yells at him. The dog comes out, he says, "And you, go." And the dog just turns around and goes. And
the guy who always gets his sandwich order wrong shows up, and he opens up the sandwich. He goes, "This has mustard on it." Who puts mustard on a tuna fish sandwich or something like that? And the guy, being a jerk, grabs the sandwich and smears it on the wall, smears it on his door.
He's like, no mustard.
No mustard. Here you go. Right. So
he says, "Take this back. I want a new sandwich."
Right.
So
he's finally standing up for himself. He's finally no longer the milquetoast character he was before. He's standing up for himself. When something in his life goes wrong, he stands up for it for the first time ever. Yep. And I think it's Belinda's character that kind of gives him that bravery and that self-confidence.
Well, come to find out that Belinda does quit. Mm-hmm. But she's going across town to, what was the name of the place? I don't remember.
It had a jungle theme.
Yeah. And he's like, "I got to go see her. I got to talk to her." Right. So he takes off to go talk to her. He walks in because basically he quit the business pretty much because, he got mad at Blaze too. They were at each other. So there's a couple of scenes where they get upset with each other. And, basically, Chuck is just falling apart, man. But he realizes that he loves her. So he takes off and goes to that place of employment. And I like when he walks in. Remember when he walks into the waiter or the person at the front desk? Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh, that's okay. I've got a reservation. Well, he just goes walking right on in, right?"
That's awesome.
And then lo and behold, he's out there and he's looking at all these different women trying to find the Belinda, and you see what's his name, Blaze. He comes swinging in on the Tarzan rope, right?
Oh man, this whole underground sex club.
I don't know what it is.
It had an indoor pool. It was steamy. There was
waterfall, I think,
vines and waterfalls, and it was like a jungle theme. All the girls were bikini clad in leopard skin bikinis, kind of thing. And so, yeah, he comes in on that swing, the rope, the vine, and he crashes into a chair and knocks some things over. Oh man, it's great.
So Bond, what ends up happening here?
Well, they end up confessing their love to one another. She doesn't want to work there. He doesn't want her to work there. He finally has the bravery to tell her how he feels. He's no longer like just letting the world happen to him. He kind of takes the world by the horns, if you will. And so he's able to like stand up for him, man. They're able to get back together.
Yeah, because security was trying to get him out of there.
Yeah. And Michael Keaton's character is like knocked out flat, and they have to like pick him up and like hold him. So that's kind of the way it ends.
Yeah, it ends kind of abruptly, yeah. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about trivia.
Okay.
So did you notice that the fraternity we didn't talk about this, but they're having a party at the morgue, a fraternity party in the morgue.
Yeah, Chuck shows up to work and there's a fraternity party in the morgue going on.
And there's a ton of people there. They got kegs and beer. And he's like,
topless women.
you guys,
it's crazy.
you guys are in a morgue. He's like, here, come over here to file 12 or whatever. And he pulls
out the drawer.
And there is a couple in there making out. And he's like, look at this. This is what you're dealing with. And they're all like, yeah. And he looks down and he's like,
and the guy that was in the drawer where the girl like pops up, he's like, yeah.
Yeah. But the fraternity that's there, which is seen on the wall, is Delta Tau Chi. Do you know what that is from, Bond?
Delta House?
National Lampoon's Animal House in 1978.
That's awesome. See, Delta, yeah, that's the Delta House. That's all. So it's the same fraternity? That's amazing.
I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Henry Winkler was scheduled to begin principal photography for this movie in New York City during his holiday hiatus from Happy Days in 1974 and would resume the following year following production of the 9th season of Happy Days in 1974. Winkler worked a total of 9 days on location in New York City before filming picked up again that day in California. Winkler worked on this movie Mondays through Wednesdays while concurrently shooting Happy Days in 1974 on Thursdays and Fridays. What year did this come out again, Bond?
Not 82.
So why is he shooting it in 74?
I think Happy Days started at 74.
Well, it says the 9th season. Oh, okay. The 9th season of Happy Days would have been
about 81,
82.
Right?
I got you.
81.
Yeah.
But still, think about how different his characters were. So that's pretty cool that he could play the Fonz on the weekends, and then he could play this other character who was like the opposite of the Fonz Monday through Wednesday. So that's pretty talented.
Here's another one that I didn't. This one kind of shocked me too. So one of the call girls was played by Drew Barrymore's mother, Jade Barrymore, who has appeared in several of Drew's movies. Billed as Ildiko Jade, this was Jade's debut film seen as an actress. In a 2019 interview with Hoda Kotb and Kathy Lee Gifford, when queried about who his most annoying co-star was, Henry Winkler admitted that it was Shelley Long. That's pretty much
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's pretty much what all the Cheers people said as well. The reason Winkler gave was that she would stand in a frame wrong so that she towers over him instead of making it look like they're the same height.
Huh.
So
interesting.
I didn't know she was hard to work with, but I guess if all the Cheers people said it too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I like how Henry Winkler said that, he wanted to take this laid back morgue director because he didn't want to play the cool guy like Fonzie every week. He wanted to play Richie Cunningham.
Nice.
Which is
it's
funny
so true
too.
though, man. His character, he does a great job in this movie, man.
Yeah.
Did you know he was nominated for an award
for this
role in this one?
No.
Oh yeah.
Well, do we got any other awards, Bond? You always
There's
seem
actually
to miss
2
that.
awards for this one, man. Let's see if I can find him real quick. He was nominated for, I believe it was a Golden Globe Award for a comedy. Yeah, Golden Globe Award for a comedy for Best Actor. He was nominated, didn't win. But Michael Keaton won for Best Supporting Actor in the Kansas City Film Critics Award. So, yeah, Michael Keaton won the Kansas City Film Critic Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy. And Henry Winkler got nominated for a Golden Globe for his role as the Best Actor in a Motion Picture Comedy. Yeah, pretty cool.
So we said this was the breakout film role for Ron Howard and Michael Keaton, but Howard had only done one B picture for Roger Corman.
Nice.
And Keaton only had done a B comedy and a little bit of television. So
I think that was Grand Theft Auto was the movie he made for Roger Corman.
Michael Pataki is listed as uncredited for playing the John who shows the teeth marks on his behind in court. But he is actually listed in the end credits after the stunt people as Buns by Pataki.
That's awesome.
All right,
he's got a bite mark.
Here's a couple of people that auditioned for the role of Bill Blazkowski. Are you ready?
Okay.
Kurt Russell.
That'll work.
And Mickey Rourke.
Wow, that's kind of a rough one, but I guess so.
We should have had Gary Busey in there. That would have been great.
That would have been a good one.
All inventions heard in the film by Bill Blazkowski do exist. For example, edible paper and thermal clothing for snowy regions. They both exist.
Nice.
After becoming successful, Bill is shown driving a 1981 Stutz 4-port. Only about 50 were made, priced at roughly $84,500, which is $290,000 in 2024.
Oh my goodness.
They were custom handmade cars built on the Buick LeSabre, Pontiac Bonneville, or Oldsmobile 88 Royal platform. Ola Ray, who plays one of Chuck's girls, is Michael Jackson's date in the video of Michael Jackson's Thriller. I thought that was pretty interesting,
I like
too.
That one. That's a good one.
Brian Grazer conceived the story after finding a New York Times news story about a prostitution ring run from a city morgue. Grazer was exclusively contracted to Paramount Pictures, but the studio passed on the project. Grazer approached Ron Howard in the summer of 1980 after the pair had become acquainted on the Paramount Pictures studio lot and began searching for a project together. They hired Happy Days writers Gantz and Mandel to draft the screenplay, which was approved for a $6.4 million budget within a few days by the Ladd's company, Alan Ladd Jr. So it's based on a true story, I guess.
Based on a true story. Night Shift, based on a true story.
The hotel shown where Chuck and Blaze's girls go is the Parker Meridian Hotel on 57th Street in Manhattan. This is one of a few movies in the early 1980s mini Hollywood cycle of clean-cut guy becomes a pimp movies. The films include this movie, Risky Business, and Dr. Detroit.
I was just going to say Dr. Detroit.
Yeah, the morgue was actually built on a set. It wasn't a room, but it was built in Hollywood, California, so that's pretty interesting too. Let's see here. This is the most successful movie at the box office in constant dollars of Henry Winkler, in a film where he played the leading first build starring role. Oh, let's see here. This is Monique Gabriel's debut. Chuck is also seen in bed with the book The Simple Solutions to Rubik's Cube by James G. Stores, published in 1981. It was the best-selling book of the year with 6,680,000 copies sold. The puzzle, the Rubik's Cube, had begun to be sold internationally the previous year. So,
yeah, he said there with a Rubik's Cube and a book.
Bond, I might have to swing over here in Cincinnati, Ohio, because in Cincinnati, Ohio, there is a real-life limousine company called Night Shift Limousine.
Nice.
I might have to.
Like it.
Yeah, maybe I'll hire them to show for me down there to Corpus Christi and pick you up.
That'd be nice. Show up in a Night Shift limo.
So the membership fee for the club in this movie was $8,000. That's equal to about $25,600 in 2024. So. This is included among the America's Film Institute's 2000 list of the 500 movies nominated for the top 100 funniest American movies.
Huh.
So, was this? Chuck's girlfriend's name is Charlotte Kugel. This is a play on the well-known Ashkenazi Jewish dish kugel, which is a typical noodle casserole. Did you notice that Chuck always keeps a picture of what his mother and his fiance on his desk? He pulls them out of the drawer.
Yeah,
so you remember that?
Picture of his mother. That's hilarious.
Oh, man. The main title's font of a red neon light depicting the nighttime that is the same as the Burt Reynolds Sharky's Machine. And ironically, that movie's marquee is visible in the same opening credits along the streets of New York City. So must use the same stuff.
Okay, so the movie poster bothers me because on the movie poster, Night Shift, the eyes in night and the eye in shift are feet. Why are they pink feet?
They should have just been, I don't know. Maybe they was just trying to be cool and maybe something to catch their eye.
Well,
maybe?
if there was a toe tag on one of those, it'd been better, but it was just feet for eyes. I was like, that's weird. Has nothing to do with it.
This film has an Indiana connection. Charlotte's parents are from Indiana. In the frat party scene, Van Halen's You Really Got Me is playing, which is sung by David Lee Roth from Bloomington, Indiana, home of the the national football champions of 2025-26 Indiana Hoosiers.
Nice.
All right, Bond.
David Lee Roth.
All right, Bond. It's that time.
All right.
Give me your thoughts, feelings, ratings of this movie.
Man, I knew this movie was good. I remember it being a good movie. I haven't seen this movie in decades, but, that's the way it is with tragedy of cinema, man. We pull out these movies we've either never seen or a movie we haven't seen in so long we can't remember, and it just refreshes your memory on how good this was. You can see the early stardom of Michael Keaton in this one. I love the cameos of these unknown actors and actresses that later go on to be stars. It's a fun movie. It's entertaining. It's great, man. I love this movie. I'm not a really big Shelley Long fan.
Me either.
But I didn't dislike her in this movie. I thought she was good. I thought she was a good character. It reminded me, we just covered not too long ago Arthur, and it kind of reminds me of that same genre of comedy. You can see bits and pieces of Splash in this movie. And there's a scene where Henry Winkler goes to show them the headstone that he bought for his father.
Mm-hmm.
That reminded me so much of the scene where Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah are in the rain, and she's like, just, what's wrong? And he gets so upset, and she's hiding under a bridge to stay out of the water. That emotional scene in Splash reminded me so much of the emotional scene here. Ron Howard does a great job of doing that. Takes hilarious scenes and mix them with heart. It's the same thing that Chris Columbus is really good at when the Home Alone movies and stuff like that. I think this movie's great. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm thinking about an 8 right there at the high end. Is it one of the best comedies of all time? No, of course not, man. It's not even the best Michael Keaton movie of all time. But it's very entertaining, and I think Henry Winkler does a great job playing this role that was opposite of what he's used to playing. He was getting that stereotypical tough guy role of the Fonz, the cool guy. So I'm glad he went the opposite way with this. 8 out of 10. You stole my prop. So I am going to take the tape recorder.
You did. If ADZ was here, he'd take the limo or the hearse.
Yeah, he'd take the hearse. Yeah.
No, he might take that.
Finding out how expensive that other car is.
He might take that other car. Yeah.
But I'm going to take the little tape recorder because every time I have a good idea, I'm going to press the little record button.
Well, you know what, Bond? You would never have to replace the tape because you said when you have a good idea.
I would be like, nothing today. Hey, this is Bond. Nothing today.
Bond out. For me, Michael Keaton is just, he steals every scene that he's in. He's funny. His facial expressions, the way he walks, the way he jives, everything about him's funny. And you got to see a side of Henry Winkler you never really got to see before either. And I think, I never really pictured him in a lead role position like that. He was always like the Fonz, right? Because he was always like the cool sidekick. And it was nice to see his acting ability outside of that. With that said, for me, I'm only going to give this movie probably a 7. It's okay for what it is, but it's very dated. You can tell it's very dated from,
definitely.
Yeah. So, but if you've never seen this movie, give it a shot. Just be forewarned, parents, before you let your kids watch it. There is a couple of naked women for a few minutes. And there's some sex scenes, even though they don't show anything. Just
a mature subject matter.
Right.
It's about
prostitution. So, Bond, what was this rated? Do you know? I don't think I wrote that down.
Probably, I don't have it written down. I would have to say it was probably PG.
Let me, I'll see if I can see it real quick.
There wasn't PG-13 at this time. I think if there was a PG-13, this would have been it. But I don't think PG-13 was invented till 1984?
It was rated R.
Rated R? Okay.
Yep. And just for ADZ, this was IMDb came in at a 6.5. So right there with it. So there you have it. That is Night Shift. And of course, my prop piece is the black purple pimp hat with a feather in it.
The long feather sticking out.
Yeah. Bod, where can they reach us at?
You can always go to Facebook, man, and check us out. We're on Facebook at The Tragedy of Cinema. And if you want to reach out to us directly, we always get some really great fans that write in and ask us questions. You could do that at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com and reach out. Let us know what you think about this movie, about the podcast. If you have any suggestions, ideas, criticisms, well, criticism will just hit spam. But the rest of it, we'll read them, man. We'll read them and we take everything to heart, man. Of course we do.
Yeah, Bond's a teacher. Don't disrespect Bond.
Yeah.
Well,
I got 2 weeks left, man. 2 weeks left before break.
you can do it. No, but when this comes out, I'll probably be done. So,
yeah.
But with that being said, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. The tragedy of cinema.